Hey, Mr. Worski here. Hope all is well. This is the fifth screencast of organic molecules. This should have been the last slide that you saw when you looked. We did screencast number 4. So it's going to be really quick, but we're going to talk about prions or prions. I don't know if you say tomato, I say tomato, I guess, type thing. But prions are misfolded proteins that cause other proteins to misfold. Remember, we said that the shape is really important and how you get that shape also important. So if you misfold, then the shape changes and function stops or function changes. So the misfolded proteins basically have no function whatsoever. They clog up the cells, and the cells die when they're filled with junk. So too much junk, cell dies, can't get rid of it, clogs up the works, not good. Now there's a PRP protein, a protease resistant protein, that's on chromosome 20, and that produces the PRP protein or protease resistant protein. Now, the PRP can be changed by other prions, and when they change the shape into prions, those prions can't be broken down. They're almost indestructible. And this happens in your brain cells, and when the brain cell dies, and enough brain cells die, you die. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, PRP is long, about 253 amino acids long. They There's a change in the amino acid number 108 to 121, and what happens is it changes the shape of the PRP, and that becomes your prion. So there's a normal mutation of PRP which causes a genetic disease called, or genetic anomaly, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Right, so usually these people have a mutation in their gene which causes a misfolding of PRP. That'll cause the brain cells to get filled with these misfolded PRP proteins. The brain cells die, and you die. And you die of uh, CJD, which is Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. So there is another way to get this disease, CJD, which is called variant CJD, is if you eat these uh, misfolded proteins, misfolded PRP proteins, and those are called prions. And if you eat the prions, those prions can make their way into your central nervous system, which would cause the other PRP, the normal PRP proteins, to change shape and become prions. Now, when all these PRPs are changing shape, they're clogging up the brain cells, and the brain cells will die. Okay, so the only way to get these prions, any way to consume these prions, is from an organism that had these prions, and you need to consume the central nervous system, which is the brain and spinal cord of the affected animal. Now, this is basically mad cow disease. So there were these cows that had the CJD, the ate prions, their proteins changed shape. And as their proteins changed shape, their cells died, and then they eventually died, and that's why we call it mad cow disease. But then what people did was they slaughtered cows before they exhibited symptoms that had these prions. And if you eat ground beef, they take the brain, the spinal cord, and they throw it into these big grinders and grind it down. So you can get CJD by eating ground beef if the infected animal did indeed have prions. So that is mad cow. Now, other cows got this CJD because they were fed the brain and spinal cord from other cows in their feed. Basically, we forced these cows to be cannibals. Now, that is against the law now, so you cannot purchase feed that has the ground up parts of other cows. So the cows cannot be, I guess, cannibals in a sort of weird way. But if you have any questions about this, we can talk about this in class. And this is what the cause of mad cow disease was. So don't eat the brain and spinal cord of cows or other infected animals or other animals.